What's going on, everyone? We got the KX125 engine on the stand and we're going to start tearing this thing down, so just enjoy the process. We're going to do this probably in a couple different parts for the entire rebuild of this engine, but if you stay tuned to the channel, I'll make sure to get all the parts uploaded as much as possible. And most of the tools that you'll see me using throughout this whole process, including this stand, is found on motosport.com. So if you guys are interested in any of the tools or even the components that are going to end up going on the engine itself, you can just use the link in the description of this video. It should take you to all the parts and the tools that I'm using for this entire bike build, but specifically for this engine. So let's dive into it.
Alright, so as we start making our work on the top end of the engine here, I just want to state that on the left side of the engine, the ignition side, I already removed the flywheel and the stator prior to recording, so I apologize. If you'd like to see footage of that, I can try and get that out later.
Now this is one of those specialty tools I got off of MOTOSPORT. So essentially these wrenches here have this design for you to be able to torque down, you know, like off your cylinder head here, these nuts here. Since it's like a really awkward and tight position with how the head is designed, or the cylinder's designed, it just kind of allows you to reach in there with this wrench, and then allows you from this point to torque down with your torque wrench for later on in the build process. So I also use this for removing these nuts off of the cylinder. So
from this point, we're going to just remove everything off the top end. So we're taking these 4 nuts off of the cylinder. Then we're going to be able to pop the cylinder right off. And you'll notice whenever I go to remove the piston here, I launch that little clip out of there. No biggie. We pull this thing apart, and we got to make sure that we grab the bearing out of the crank, and we do exactly that. We pull this bearing out, we have a nice free crank up top, and then we go over to the Kickstarter. We start removing that bolt, and notice that there's red Loctite on that bolt. Remember that for future purposes of reinstalling. Going over to the water pump cover, we start removing all of the bolts for the cover, and then we head over to the clutch cover and start removing all the bolts on the clutch cover as well, going in a star pattern.
now before I remove this, I'm going to hold on to the crank, because if I don't, this thing's just going to spin the crank. So we're going to hold on to the crank while removing this bolt. And there we go. Can't forget that there's a washer on the back and a seal.
And if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of bolt removal at the very beginning. You're just going with case to case to case, it feels like, or cover, whatever you want to call it. So we're just taking this outer cover off.
Before tearing the engine down, I took a piece of cardboard and I drew an outline and put holes where all these bolts were coming from. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to start putting a whole bunch of these bolts in there so that way I don't lose them and I have an idea of exactly where they're supposed to be. So let's do that right now. And I made sure to write down like clutch cover, water cooler, you know, cover, cylinder, Kickstarter. Like, I think that this is important, but that's just for me. If this isn't your thing, no biggie, but this is going to help me remember exactly where each of these bolts need to go, especially because some of them are different lengths. So just want to make sure I have it exactly where I want it to be. And I have this same kind of cutout and labeled out thing for the opposite side as well.
And now we can take this outer cover off. If you have to, you can take like a dead blow hammer and just give it some light taps, kind of get it a little loose so that way it'll actually pop off there. And don't forget to remove the seal as well. And to remove the exhaust valve governor, you're just going to lift up on the shaft and pop that sucker right out. Notice how it fits into the shaft there. And we're going to take that water pump gear out and just kind of pop that sucker right on out like that. And then we're going to take these little screws out of the shaft here where the governor was located. Now we're going to notice that there is red Loctite on these little screws as well. And then on the outside, there's another screw that we take out so that way we can free up the shaft here and we can just kind of wiggle this guy out of there. And on the back of your water pump cover, you'll notice that you've got these little dowel rod pins. Just going to want to remove that, and one from the case there. So we're going to pop that right out as well. And then we've got a couple more little dowel rod pins that we're going to pull those out of the case. We note where they came from. And then we're going to pop out a seal here. We're going to pop out another seal over here where the Kickstarter is at. And we're going to pop out the last water pump seal over here and go from there.
Now before I move forward with this engine, I want to show you guys, this is why this stand is so great. This has a tray down here. It catches everything for you. This is holding the engine up for me. I mean, this is literally just one of the best things that you can have in a job like this. So that is a huge reason why I use this engine stand. And yeah, like I said, you can get this off MOTOSPORT. Just use the link in the description below.
And I personally wanted to rotate the engine a little bit here and get it in a different position, so that way I could pull the clutch out in this manner. I don't know, this just felt more comfortable to me. So we pull this top plate off, and I'm just kind of checking everything to make sure I have an idea of every single bit that goes into place in order, such as like this little ball here for your clutch. Very important stuff to take note of.
This is another one of those specialty tools. This is made by HP Tools. Basically, this helps you grab a hold of the clutch basket here whenever you go to back this nut off, so that way it doesn't rotate. So this little device is actually going to be really handy for this clutch basket for us to remove this nut here. So we're going to do that right now.
And that's why that tool is so incredibly helpful. That just made my life so much easier. Just taking everything apart here for the inner clutch basket here. And then we're going to just straight up pull the outer basket out. And then taking note of the bearing behind the basket, as well as the collar that you remove off the shaft there as well.
I'd be lying if I told you I was really comfortable doing that, because I was pretty nervous putting that clutch holding tool on here. But if you see this, the crank is just rotating like crazy, and there's quite literally no other way to keep it held in place to loosen this nut. So I mean, it worked, and hey, at the end of the day, nothing broke. So that's what's important. We got it.
See there, that tool is useful for more than one thing. So we're going to pull this nut off. We're going to pull this gear straight off as well. And heading to the left side of this case, we're going to pull out the kick shaft assembly here, removing the spring first, which is going to allow us to just pull everything straight out, or kind of wiggle some things out, and then you can directly pull that straight out like I mentioned, and then that leads you to pulling the gear out as well. And then you're going to have this bolt up here with this little guide for your kick shaft assembly, so you can just pull that out. And then we're going to pull out the shift shaft here. Kind of the whole mechanism is coming out here. So you see the shaft pulling out. You got these bolts, and like I said, just kind of like this mechanism, these plates and everything, and you'll just remove all of that. And finally, we've got a bolt inside of the shift drum cam, and we're going to just remove that real quick. And then we also have to pull down the little shift lever there, so that way we can get the drum out of the way, and then we can remove the bolt for the little shift lever, and then we can just take the washer off and pull everything else off of there as well. And on the case, you have these little dowel rod pins. Make sure you know where they're at and where they're coming from. So I made sure to just pull these out real quick, and I'm just laying them down on the table behind me. And honestly, I probably could have done this sooner, but I'm just taking the reeds out now. I know I probably could have done this earlier, but I was like, all right, let's just do it now. We'll get it out of there. So that way it leads to the opposite side, the ignition cover side, and we're just now taking all the bolts out on the external case here, and kind of just getting ready to hopefully splitting the cases soon. And at this point, I decided I'm just going to take out the last few pieces of my clutch components. So pulling this piece out on the ignition cover side, popping out the rod on the opposing side here, and that's that.
That's part one of the engine rebuild. So this video was the teardown process, mostly of the clutch cover side here. Obviously, you can see we've still got plenty of things to pull out, including bearings and the crank itself here soon, but we still have to make our way to the opposite side, and that should be in the next part, so stay tuned for part 2 to come.